What the heck is a Cazimi in astrology? This is one of those words that's like, you're leaving me no clues here. I couldn't even begin to guess what this word means. But if you're following astrology accounts, you might be seeing this word coming up in some posts, right around now, because there is a Cazimi that's going to happen in a few days on September 30th between Mercury and the Sun. So I'm going to give you what may be a cringe, but hopefully a helpful analogy of what a Cazimi is and how you can think about it so that it makes sense to you and you can integrate this information into your daily life. So if you, I know this is probably cringy, but it helps me to think of things that kind of go together to solidify a thought in my mind. So the thing that always comes to mind when I'm trying to align my brain, like, okay, what is a Cazimi? I think Cazimi ka-chow. Okay, so I hope maybe you've seen the movie Cars, right? The whole franchise. And Lightning McQueen does this thing when he is just feeling himself. He's just won a race. He's just done something amazing. He feels powerful. He feels great. He feels like, so him. He is just so in his element. And he'll go ka-chow and he'll like strike a pose, right? So I just think of that because one, it makes sense in my brain. I don't know why, but it does, to go Cazimi ka-chow. But it also does go with what a Cazimi actually is. So a Cazimi, technically speaking, is when the sun and a planet are in like a direct line to each other. So it's almost like the sun is putting the spotlight on this planet and just letting it shine in all its glory, like whatever that planet represents in a true, pure way that's not affected by like, well, when the planet is in this sign or when it's in that sign or when it's doing this or no, simple, straight, pure energy. What does that planet represent? So the Cazimi coming up is with Mercury, right? So what does Mercury represent? Mercury represents our communication with other people. It also represents how we like to learn, the things that we like to learn, the way that we like to learn them, and the way that we like to communicate the things that we learn, right? So I'm an Aquarius, I'm an Aquarius everything, right? But my Mercury's in Aquarius. So that really dictates like, what are the things I like to learn about? Astrology and tarot and all things like spiritual and, like those are Aquarius is very eclectic. Aquarius is very outer space. Aquarius is very like occult fascinated, right? And so I love to learn about these things. But Aquarius is, I know. So I want to learn about these things from the experts and I want to learn it as thoroughly as possible so that I can genuinely feel that I really, really know what's going on. Okay, so that's like your Mercury. If you know what sign your Mercury is in, it will tell you why you're interested in the way that, the things that you're interested in and why you like to learn the way you do, why you like to communicate the way you like to communicate. It's a really cool thing to learn about yourself. So if you don't know like what sign your Mercury is in, go look it up. This is a great time to look it up, but it's a great time to just simply celebrate Mercury. It's just such a beautiful time to celebrate that communication and that learning and communicating with others and just diving headfirst into something that you're really interested in, right? Just celebrating all of those Mercury elements. But here is like, what does Cazimi mean? Cazimi actually means in the heart of, I believe in Arabic. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe it's in Arabic, that it means in the heart of. And so the idea is that the sun, as this bright spotlight at the center of our, at the center of our galaxy, right? That it just, when it shines its light on something, it highlights it. But I really love this element of love. Okay, so here is my other millennial girly, used to be Little Mermaid obsessed analogy to really get into that feeling of that the sun shining this love onto this planet in the heart of. If you want to figure out a way to like mentally sink into that element of it. Okay, so you know in The Little Mermaid, it's at the end, we've gone through all the craziness, and King Triton has finally come to accept that his baby girl wants to go live on land with Prince Eric, and he is so benevolently showering her with love, giving her the legs that she wants so she can live the life she wants to live, right? And he comes up out of the ocean and he takes his Triton down into the water, and that beautiful golden light touches her and transforms her, and she rises up out of the ocean and she walks to her prince, and she is just feeling, she's just glowing, but it's the infusion of the love that her father, representing the sun in this analogy, is shining on her and gifting that energy towards her to allow her to shine and be her strongest, best, most sparkliest self, right? So that's what a Cazimi is, and we've got one coming up, and it's, you know, it's a really cool thing, and so you can kind of bask in that energy of really loving that part of you. So if you don't know what sign your Mercury is in, take a second, go on to cafeastrology.com and just like look it up for free and find out what sign your Mercury is in, and really just sit in the element of loving that part of you, of realizing that this is a part of who you are. It's an innate part of who you are. It's a beautiful part of who you are. How we all like to learn, how we like to communicate, those things are personal to us. There's not a one size fits all. And so whatever that is part of who you are. So can you allow this Cazimi to shine light and love on who you are, not who you're trying to be, not who you think you ought to be, not who other people tell you you're supposed to be? Can you just lean into like this beautiful way that you like to learn, beautiful way that you like to communicate, beautiful way that you like to interact with other people, the beauty in the things that you like to learn? Because if we all only wanted to learn one thing, we wouldn't know anything, right? We need people who are interested in all facets of life so that we can all come together and learn from each other, right? So if you don't know much about how that affects you, drop a comment. I'll be happy to reply with a video and give you my thoughts on it, okay? So use this time on September 30th with this Cazimi between the sun and Mercury to celebrate you, to allow the sun to illuminate this part of who you are and to celebrate this part of who you are, okay? Mwah! Love you!